Hey fellow enthusiasts, this is Tommy Lanham and I'm on a mission to break the monotony of the mundane and the mediocre by bringing as much enthusiasm to as many businesses, ministries, marriages, and individual lives as I possibly can. Hey, if you want to know how to best never give up, then this video is for you.
Here we go.
Hey guys, about a year ago, my friend David Palmer had a post on his Facebook page, and it said this: "Only took 6 years, LOL, May 6th, finally." What he was referring to there was his graduation from University of the Cumberlands. David, I happen to know some of David's story. He overcame some challenges. He overcame some failures and some issues in his life, but he kept moving forward. He stayed the course. He kept going. He understood the principle of the tortoise and the hare, that it's not about how fast you get there, but it's about having the perseverance to keep moving forward. It took him 6 years to graduate college, but he did it. He stuck to it and kept moving forward, and he found that success. You know, David's story kind of reminded me a little bit of my story. I never did well academically through grade school, through middle school, through high school, none of that. I was a C student at best. I struggled academically. I always enjoyed going to school. Matter of fact, I enjoyed the 6th grade so well, I took it twice. People were surprised as I got into the high school that I decided to go to college. They thought, man, I must be glutton for punishment if I decided to go to college. But I did. It was because of a call that I felt God had on my life. It wasn't because I necessarily wanted the academics. It's just what I felt like God was calling me to do. And so I went to college, and I still did not do well. I struggled. It was tough for me. Again, I was a C student at best. Matter of fact, I'm one of those guys that squeezed a 4-year degree into 6. It took me 6 years, just like it did David, to finally graduate. And you know, in the midst of those 6 years, at one point I was asked not to come back because my grades were so poor. But thanks to the grace of God and Johnson Bible College, I was allowed to return. I did get my grades up a little bit, at least enough to graduate, and I graduated in 6 years with a magnificent 2.3 GPA. But I stuck with it and I finished it. I tell you, my story, and there's a little more to my story was featured in a book by Daniel Matthews. He's a friend of mine. He wrote a book called Spear Your Fear. And I just want to read from that book what Daniel Matthews wrote about my story. It goes like this. Take my friend Tommy. In the 1990s, he was asked to leave college because of his grades. He was given a second chance, and after a 6-year struggle, he managed to graduate with a 2.3 GPA. Most recently, again this was in 2016, most recently he graduated with a master's degree that was completed in just over 1 year and did so with a perfect 4.0. Today he spoke at his former high school on the success of a 6th grade flunky. Tommy knows that if you want to become greater than you are, you not only must be able to recognize the successes within your failures, you must be able to exploit them. I appreciated Dan sharing that story in his book. But it just goes to show that your past does not determine your future. Regardless of the struggles you've had in the past, regardless of the struggles you're having in the present, you can continue to move forward. Learn from your failures and keep moving forward. Daniel Matthews, again the author of the book Spare Your Fear, in that book talks a little bit about his struggles and what he has fought and the fears that he has overcome. Daniel, at a young age, he dropped out of high school. Kind of was a wandering generality for a while, got involved in some things that were not too good, had some near-death experiences even, but he overcame. And I tell you what, I would encourage you, if you want to hear more about Daniel Matthews' inspirational story, I would encourage you to get his book, Spare Your Fear. You can find it at his website at Continue to Improve. And the reason I'm telling you this, hey, I want you to get information that's going to feed your enthusiasm, information that's going to inspire you to move forward. Because if you're not going through something, you just came out of going through something, or you're getting ready to go through something. There's always something. Those struggles, those failures, those self-doubts that we experience on a regular basis, it keeps us locked. It keeps us from moving forward. It keeps us from being all that God wants us to be and created us to be. You know, I used to be embarrassed about the fact that it took me 6 years to get a 4-year degree, until I read about a man by the name of Soren Kierkegaard. It took Soren Kierkegaard 10 years to get his undergrad degree. And Soren Kierkegaard is considered one of the greatest thinkers of the past 200 years. I mean, good company, right? It doesn't matter how fast you finish. What matters is that you keep moving forward. You keep going forward. So thank you. Thank you, David Palmer. Thank you, Daniel Matthews. Thank you, Soren Kierkegaard. Thank you, myself, and the many others that have persevered in the face of trial and failure, who have ignored the naysayers who said it could not be done, and who realize that life is not a sprint, but it is a marathon. I salute you. I salute us. And everyone that has that type of story, I pray that it helps to feed your enthusiasm. Hey guys, if you like this video, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment in the comments below, and if you want to be a part of the fellow enthusiast community, then please subscribe. You look like a hobbit.